My name's Steve Novak. I'm a detective sergeant with Fort Lauderdale Homicide Unit.
My name is Detective Jennifer St. Jean. At this time, I was a missing persons detective.
May 20th, 2017, 15-year-old Sophie Elizabeth Reeder left the house that she lives in with her father and walked away. After 2 days, when she didn't return home, Dad came to the police station to make a report, which is when we got involved in the investigation.
The night that she went missing, we found out through video surveillance that she walked from her house down Citrus Aisle. She kind of meandered in the area for a while, and then she walked south on Andrews Avenue, back north on Andrews Avenue. So she was kind of hanging out in that area for a few hours. Eventually, she walks over the bridge into the Stranahan High School area, and that was the last time that we have any record of her.
So I'm Detective Jason Wood, and I'm the homicide detective. We didn't see anything, any indications that she was killed, but there was a lot of suspicious things that just didn't sit well with me.
We implemented a new approach to the investigation just based on some of the things we learned in the first few days.
To my knowledge, this was the first time any missing person case combined a missing person detective, a homicide detective, and then we incorporated a human trafficking detective. So there was 3 of us working it, all with an area of expertise. So we had all the bases covered, and we started working it in 2017 and are still working it.
We've looked at every angle. We've looked at her being a runaway. We've looked at her being taken, human trafficked, and we've even had the aspect of homicide, murder.
One of the first things we did is started looking at her phone records. Phone records at the time were our best resource for trying to locate somebody or where they may have been. We were able to identify the path that she took when she walked away. Following that path, we recovered surveillance video from several businesses that showed her walking along some of the streets in Fort Lauderdale to an area near Southwest 18th Avenue and Southwest 11th Street. She was wearing very distinctive clothing that night. She was wearing a fur coat and a pair of Dre Beats headphones.
The circumstances she left, it was the middle of the night. She didn't look like she had any particular place to go. The video we found, she seemed to be very nonchalantly walking, kind of lost and just kind of in her own thoughts, listening to headphones. And then after we got the information from her father that the candle had been burning, there was cash in the room, so that told me she wasn't running away.
So when we checked her room, we found $300 cash. We found a fake gun. We found things that weren't normal for a teenage girl to have in her room. So that led us to having questions about what was she really into.
This was the first child that we've had missing in Fort Lauderdale long-term that we weren't able to say was with a friend or another family member anywhere. In the 5 years since she has been missing, detectives have traveled to multiple states following up on leads. We frequently work with other agencies, including the FBI, Homeland Security, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children to scrub websites, adult websites, and follow up on anything that potentially is a photo that matches Sophie.
So in this case, we've searched numerous properties. We've used cadaver dogs. We've used our Marine unit to search waterways, the dive team. We did not recover any of the items that Sophie was seen in video wearing, and we never recovered her cell phone. But we know she had it on her. That's on the video, and we tracked the cell phone and never found it. We've interviewed persons of interest, and so far it has not led us to the truth yet.
The issue with missing persons cases is you don't have that person to tell you, hey, this crime was committed against me, or this is what happened. You're kind of left to figure out who this person is.
My name is Patrick Reeder. I'm Sophie Reeder's father. So this is Sophie's room right here. I kept the bedroom the same way because that's her bedroom, that's her place, that's the place that she goes, and that's her home life where she feels warm and secure. So I always want to keep it that way, so when she comes home, she'll have a place to return to. Every day is a worry. Where is she? Is she going to be okay? It's like you can't stop thinking about it, but you can't you can't have any closure until you know what's happened. So it's something that I'll always live with the rest of my life.
This case haunts me. This case is one of the ones that I think about all the time. I am constantly thinking, what can we do differently to figure out a different angle or bring somebody else in on this case to go, hey, did you look at it from this angle? Did you look at it from that angle? Because we've hit a wall. You know, we've hit a wall where we've done everything that we can imagine to do on this case, but we still have no leads. We have nothing that can move us forward, unfortunately.
According to her dad, it was not unusual for her to leave, but never for the amount of time that she was gone before he reported her missing.
Sophie is very independent, and she liked to do her things her way, and she's a little hard-headed, but you know, teenagers can be.
What we want is people to send in legitimate tips. If somebody knows something from the day she went missing, or about the people that maybe she met that day, those tips would be extremely valuable for us to move the investigation forward.
Someone definitely knows something in Fort Lauderdale, and it's just going to take the right circumstances for them to come forward. Everything with Sophie appeared to have stopped on May 20th at about 9 a.m. There's no signs of social media, there's no signs of cell phone, there's no calls to her friends. She just vanished then.
We need information on this case. We need someone to come forward and give us that one little tip that can lead us down a road that we can investigate further, that we can dig a little bit deeper.
Any call you make, whether it's to Crime Stoppers or to the police department, it can be anonymous.
The hardest part of this is not knowing where she is or what's happened to her. I'd like someone to come forward and just say, hey, I know where she is, she's okay.
At this point, if you know what happened to Sophie, at least give the family some closure.
I'd like to find her. I'd like to find out what happened that night.
We're just hoping that somebody will come forward and let us know what actually happened to her.